China and Vietnam are the only two top 10 trade partners to have registered better than 10% growth this year, but for somewhat different reasons. First, China. China's U.S. trade increased 36.06% through February, the latest statistics available from the U.S. Census Bureau. That's a big number, but it might surprise you to learn that it was U.S. exports to China that led the way. U.S. exports increased 58.74%, while imports increased a still robust 30.39%. What's happening? First, the Chinese New Year affected February data somewhat last year, so there is some rebound here. Trade is up only 5.58% from the first 2 months of the prior year, 2019. Second, China's economy was the only major economy in the world, despite being the source of the COVID-19 coronavirus, to grow in 2020. Think what you like, but this is good news for U.S. exports, including for oil, soybeans, and more. Vietnam is a different story. Like China, for the better part of 2 decades, it has been one of the United States' fastest growing trade partners. It entered the top 10 for the first time in 2020. So far this year, it skipped ahead of India and Taiwan to rank number 8. At this time in 2014, it ranked 27th. But unlike China, its growth is still all pegged to U.S. imports from there. While overall U.S.-Vietnamese trade grew 16.12%, exports fell slightly, down 0.72%, while imports grew 18.72%. In fact, it is now manufacturing many of the products that China did not want to continue to produce, viewing them as lower value or could not produce as economically for one reason or another. Apparel is one of the most obvious categories, but Vietnam is also a large producer and exporter of cell phones and related equipment. When looking at these two, it is also instructive to look at the balance of trade, the percentage of U.S. trade that is an export, since China's overall trade is so much larger. For every dollar of trade with China, 23 cents is a U.S. export. For every dollar of U.S. trade with Vietnam, 11 cents is an export. That matters. Trade matters too. From outside the Washington Beltway and inside the trade numbers, I'm Ken Roberts, and this has been another episode of Trade Matters, because it does. Thanks for watching and sharing.